Hey look, the PlayStation Drive is starting. While you wait, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon on YouTube to be notified of future goodness. If you enjoy our show, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. To continue the conversation, join the Carpool Gaming Discord, where you can find a wholesome community to have a chit-chat with. For some exclusive content, you can also support us on Patreon. And finally, don't forget to check out the Carpool Gaming website for an awesome range of merch. Links to all that and more are in the show notes, but without further ado, let's get revved up for the PlayStation Drive. Whoa!
What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. This is the PlayStation Drive episode 195. I am one of your hosts, Ryan, and I'm joined, as always, by Fulia, Matt, and Ron. How is everyone doing on this lovely, lovely Sunday evening or Monday morning?
Doing all right.
Excellent. Enjoying the beautiful weather today, Ryan. Unlike yesterday, which was horrendous. Horrendous, Ryan. Were you outside yesterday?
Luckily, I didn't have to go outside very much yesterday. I was laid out from walking around all day the day before, and I could barely walk the following day. So I just stayed inside most of the day. So yeah, luckily I didn't have to do that. But I mean, look at the chat already. Chat's very excited about
there you go.
I mean, look, Ron, I tried to make amends by having your guys' final show and not having me say Chunday, but of course I couldn't control the weather talk.
This is the way it should be. It's fine.
Exactly. No, it was disgusting weather yesterday. It was like 6 degrees Celsius, 40-kilometer winds, no sun. Like, it was rough.
Matt, if you're going to do this, you have to include Fahrenheit for the people who don't do the Celsius thing. Come on. Just America, I guess. I don't know.
I was just going to say the one country that doesn't do Celsius.
I was about to say the rest of the world does it right, and we do it wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
It was disgusting, Ron. But anybody else that doesn't know Celsius, it was bad weather. It was bad weather to be outside. But today, sun was out. I think it was like 14 degrees. We took the kids to the park. Much, much better. But I don't know what to wear. Am I bringing my toque and my winter jacket? Am I bringing a spring jacket? Question from the press pool. Yes, Ron.
I noticed that you said the sun was out. Were the guns out as well?
I walked right into that one.
Oh, yeah.
They should have been. If they weren't, it was a mistake.
Yeah. Sun's out, guns out. Come on, man. You know how to do it. Canadian gun show, baby. Let's go.
As soon as you raised your hand, I was like, I know what I'm walking into, but I can't ignore the question.
Of course. Because he would just have his hand up the whole show.
Thank you, HVAC. Thank you, HVAC. Yeah, 50 degrees. That's a little... Yeah.
You're making it sound like if we were, of course, describing us going on a road trip and how fast we were going, we'd have to convert from kilometers an hour to an hour. It's pretty
I didn't know these things. 50 degrees, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Right? Those are fun.
Welcome to Canada in almost May. That's how things roll here. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh gosh.
But this is the PlayStation Drive where I swear we talk about PlayStation every once in a while. So we should probably go answer the door because I keep hearing just this housekeeping at the door. We should probably go answer the door. So, of course, we got new patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, including Jack with 2 Ks as a free member over there on the old Patreon. And then Jonas Young, the one that started it all with the Jonas Young, of course, at the exclusive tier as well. So shout out to Jonas Young and Jack for joining up on the old Patreon. Of course, we got brand new Patreon content, including, of course, Matt, your final episode of the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast was out this week. People can go listen to it. Seth's episode just came out this morning, so make sure to go check that one out. And then we have a brand new episode coming out this week with a person I'm not going to spoil. You'll just have to... Usually I like to tee who's next on the Pants podcast since the question post comes up in the morning. But y'all will be very excited as to who's up next on the Pants podcast. And I won't say who it is. So please be excited. Of course, the mini indie van continues in early access over on Patreon. So please make sure to send all your feedback to Fulia as you listen to the show. Of course, don't forget you can sign up for a 7-day free trial to give it a listen in case you have not listened to the show before. And of course, quick note about Patreon, as we've been promoting for a while now. If you're new to Patreon or if you're coming back to Patreon after an absence of any kind, please make sure to sign up on the Patreon website, patreon.com/carpoolgaming, rather than the iOS app, because the iOS app will charge you extra dollary dues that'll just go straight to Apple, and no one wants that. So make sure to just go to your web browser, Netscape Navigator, pull it up and go http://www.patreon.com/carpoolgaming and go sign up there. Last but not least, of course, we got Bobby's Bulbs. Spring collection is back for a limited time, so make sure to go check out our spring merch if you missed it last year. Designed, of course, by the incredible The Lockleth. So make sure to go check that out over there. But without further ado, before we get into what we're playing, there is one piece of housekeeping that we do have to address, have to talk about before we get into things here. And you've probably guessed it from the title of this episode or from the description. But tonight, friends, we are going to celebrate both Matt and Ron. They have decided that they are going to depart the Carpool Gaming team. And we, of course, wish them well on whatever is next for the two of them. And tonight we're going to celebrate as a team. We're going to have one last ride with the four of us together on the old PlayStation Drive. After this episode, this show will be going on hiatus indefinitely. We will talk about what's happening with that in the future. I will tell you that things are happening behind the scenes. Things are being planned and discussed. So we have some exciting stuff to talk about in the future. But now is not the time to do that, because tonight, friends, we are going to celebrate our friends, Matt and Ron, of course. So just want to get that out of the way. In fact, that's going to be our big topic of the week this week. We're going to be, giving our favorite memory, our favorite Ron and Matt memories. And of course, just, waxing poetic and just having fun together. But it wouldn't be a PlayStation Drive podcast if we didn't at least talk about the games we're playing, because we got to fit video games in here somewhere. So let's get that out of the way before we of course, talk about our friends. So let's grab our 8 tracks, pop them in. It's time for the playlist. Time to talk about the games we've played. Now, we've been away for a couple weeks, so we might have a little bit more games to talk about this week than normal. But let's start it off with Ron. What'd you play, man?
All right, so Space Marines 2, still doing the operations mode on that with the friends, but, still solid. Nothing new to say about it. The game is still great. Nothing new to say about that. I did end up platinum Nobody Wants to Die. I enjoyed that game so much that I was just like, you know what, I'm going to sit there and platinum this game. Nobody Wants to Die is really, really good. I think that probably is one of my bigger surprises of the year. Almost. It's a game I'm going to talk about a little bit later on that is actually surprising me more. But Open Critic did not let me down on that. Every now and then there's a game that comes out that I'm like, you know what? I like what I'm reading on these reviews. Let me check this out. I'm a sucker for noir games, especially when you throw in futuristic concepts and detective stuff. That game was just really good. So the platinum was worth it. Great game. The ending was good. Just, I don't have too many complaints about it, to be honest. Really hoping that we get either a sequel in the world, or if whatever game they're coming from next from that dev, I'm all over it. All over it. The game that is surprising me, shout out to Kevin Ainsworth, because he talked to me about it in DMs months ago, trying to tell me to play it, and I was like, I'm not really sure about that one, Kev. The reviews are kind of on it. But because it was a free title on PS Plus, I had added to the library back when they had joined out. Immortals of Avium is surprisingly solid. That is a solid game. Yeah, the cheese factor's there a little bit, but not to the point where it's like offensive and makes you want to drop the game. And the combat is super fun. Kevin was right. This is a good game. So I'm still early. I'm only like about 8 hours in, so I still got time to go. But right now, I got a good feeling about this one. I'm starting to wonder if the reviews may have had a lot to do with EA's, publishing stamp being on it. And we know EA is almost like Ubisoft when it comes to reviews, so I don't know, man. We're going to see. Like I said, I'm going to see how it finishes out, and we'll go from there.
It was kind of with that game in particular. Sorry if you don't mind if I interrupt.
You could.
Because first of all, I really like that game too, Ron. And I think what happened with that game was kind of like this perfect storm of it just came out at the wrong time.
Typical
where
EA style.
it came out like I think it was like the end of August or early September of the year it came out in. There was another game that had come out that was really big at the same week. The reviews, as you mentioned, were kind of like all over the place, and a lot of it had to do a lot of which with the performance, because the week one performance of the game, especially on like PC in particular, was not good for that game. So that's where a lot of the kind of like iffy reviews kind of come from. So it was just the perfect storm of bad stuff to the point where the game just didn't really sell. So EA was just like desperate to just get people to play this game at all. So they were giving it away for free, or they were offering up on sale. Like it hit EA Play like very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's already like I think like $8 or $9. I think it's like the lowest it's been on PlayStation, man. And it's just
I bought it for $3 Canadian.
Dear God,
that was the lowest it was one time.
Wow,
wow, $3.
Can't go wrong.
No, I was like,
Very nice.
because that was before it came to PlayStation Plus, and I was like,
okay,
yeah, I'll pay $3 for the deluxe edition of Immortals of Avium.
You know what? I'm going to probably end up just going ahead and just buying the game after I finish it, because, like I said, so far it's sounding like it's pretty good. This is one of those times where free $99 is not a setup. This is
that game was
out.
very, very fun. Like
man,
it's underrated, and especially like we don't really have like other Magic shooters. It reminds me a lot of like the old PC game Heretic. Which was like an id Software game. It's very similar to Doom, but it was Magic based. So very, very similar to that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
good combat, man. Super solid. So, like I said, we'll see how it goes. I've looked at the guide. I don't think I'm going to platinum that, because I'm going to have to play through it like twice. No, thank you. I'm not doing that.
it's also not. It's not a super long game, but yeah, the platinum itself is not. Kind of.
I'm not going to do multiple playthroughs to get the plat for that. So that's going to be a no go. So. Yeah. Looks like Nobody Wants to Die is about the only platinum beside Helldivers that I've gotten so far. So I'm far behind Matt and the Koala.
You're still beating me. I have 0.
Oh, come on.
Well,
come on.
Look, the way things are going, Ryan, me and you might be like neck and neck by the time the end of the year comes.
I mean, to be fair, I got a pseudo platinum this week, where I got a platinum equivalent on another console, but I didn't get a platinum.
Was it X Latinum?
No, it was a switch limb. A potato limb. I don't know,
Nintendo
man.
doesn't do that. Nintendo doesn't do that.
I was just trying to, be there, but yeah.
Oh God.
We'll talk about it when we get to what I'm playing. But yes, I did kind of get that. But anyways, cool. So, Matt, what'd you play?
I played a few games over the last few weeks. So the next Backtrackers game that we're currently playing is Endling Extinction is Forever. I believe we're meeting on May 10th. So if you played that game, you can join us. Or if you haven't played, you just want to listen, just join us in the Discord. Fun fact, I played that game not once, but twice. Because I liked it so much? Not necessarily. Because it's a quick platinum? That is why. So 2 platinums, and no, friends, listen up, PlayStation Nation, before you assume it's an auto pop, it was not. I beat it twice.
That counts.
That being said,
that counts. You didn't auto pop it, so we'll give you that.
Yeah.
Auto pops count too, don't they? You can look at my record.
No,
Got plenty of auto
do
pops.
not count. No, they do not.
Look, there's nothing wrong with getting the Sound Shapes Platinum 3 times. Once on Vita,
Lord.
once on PS3, and once
See?
on PS4.
That's right. Herman recognizes the
Ryan,
auto
don't
pop.
encourage him. Don't
That's
do
why
that.
it's allowed. That's right. Check out my profile, friends.
Please
But
don't.
yeah, so Endling. Yeah, you might change your mind on me when you see the platinums I have.
Yeah.
Endling Extinction Forever. It's a survival game. You play as a mother fox, and you're trying to survive in like this post-apocalyptic world, and you have to take care of your kids, so that you have to find food, feed them, defend them from predators. And there's a mainline story to it. It gets pretty emotional. But it was how do I say this? Like, I think if I didn't play it with a guide, quite honestly, I probably would have bailed, because I really don't like survival games, and this game does not mess around. Like, your cubs will die so fast, or you'll die really quickly if you're not really careful. But yeah, I was just taking a quick look at some platinum trophy guides, and I found a better one compared to like the ones from PowerPix. Just this YouTuber, he's like, you can do it in 1 hour. And I was like, really? Just 1 hour? Now, that being said, is this the proper full experience for the game? Probably not. I mean, it's a survival game. I think they want you to, be stressed. But I use this guide, and I was just streamlining my way to that platinum. So I enjoyed it. My perspective at the backtrackers will be very unique because, like I said, I followed a guide and I basically just beelined the whole thing because the game wants you to explore the world and didn't have to do any of that. Just I knew exactly where to go, I knew exactly where to get food, I knew exactly how to avoid predators. Just yeah, I enjoyed it. So if you want to
tell
platinum,
PlayStation Nation why you're doing this, feeling pressure from Koala because she's destroying us in the platinum hunt.
It's right. Well, the pressure is on. It's fun. Who doesn't like a quick platinum? Come on, it's fun.
It's good to pay.
It's fun. That's so yeah. So PS5, PS4 version. Got those platinums, and then Kia in the chat. Am I a cheater? You tell me. I used a guide.
I mean,
I'll let you
most of
decide.
us use platinum guides. I don't see a reason you can't.
Hey, if
There's
you
nothing wrong with
get
him using the
platinums
guy,
with
Kia. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
It's fine. Well, to be fair, Ron. It's a very it's borderline because most platinum guides for ending extinction, like it says like it's like 4 to 5 hours. This one is one. Like you're literally beelining it like straight through and through. Like you're really
So did you beeline it for the second time that you got the platinum, or was that the first time that you beelined it?
Both times I beelined it.
God.
Get that plat. Come on. So, cheater? Maybe not. Maybe still got the plats. After that, I'm very, very excited that I finally got to play Neva. I was so excited to play this. Yep. I know we did a whole episode on it on the PlayStation Drive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ron, wake up. Wake up, Ron.
I'm sorry. We never thought you were going to get that platinum, Matt.
Oh, no. Getting that plat. Okay? And you have to listen to this, us talk about this game again, Ron. I loved it. It was
great.
Oh, yes. Put on your seatbelt. It was phenomenal. Like Fulia said, if you played Reese, it's from the same developer. In my opinion, this is... I wouldn't say it's a sequel because obviously it's a different storyline, but like you can see that they really took what they learned from Reese and applied it to Neva to make it a much better game. Like it's very streamlined. Like I never ever got stuck, and I never got to a point where I was like I didn't know where to go. Whereas in Greece, especially if you're going to platinum, it's not that you get frustrated, but like sometimes it's not very clear where to go. There might be like 2 or 3 paths, but like it never. I feel like it's like just pushing you forward and just going through the story. Absolutely, just stunning artwork, like the music. You know what? I'll be quite honest, Ron. You'd hate this game. You would hate it because as I was playing it, it reminded me of Death Stranding, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. That's right. It reminded me of Botwa and Thotkey. Oh, yes. And
Botwa and Thotkey. Great.
No,
yes.
Not Botwa.
Yeah.
And Death
all
Stranding.
my favorite games, all in one. This sounds like a wow. Yeah. It's a wrong game. All right.
I loved it. Like when you're climbing up and like it pans out and you get like that beautiful landscape, the music starts to rise. I'm like, yo, this is exactly like Botwa, like Death Stranding. Get me in the feels. I was like, this is exactly why Ron would hate it, but I truly loved it. That's right.
Hey, I enjoy games that get me in the feels. I just wasn't Grease. Jeez.
That's fine. Like that's what's different from Greece. Like you actually have to fight and stuff like that. But when did the game came out last year, right? Or a few months ago? Like
it was last year.
Beginning of the year, end of last year, something like that.
It was last year. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Super mild spoilers. So like if you wanted to play Neva like without knowing anything, come back in like a few minutes. Just very mild spoilers. I do want to touch upon. In the story, you play as a female character and you're bonding with your wolf. I thought they did such an incredible job at building the relationship between you and Neva because Neva starts off as a puppy, and as the seasons go, she grows older and older. And as the dog gets older, they gain more combat abilities. So when you're actually in combat, they're doing more, and the way you fight is actually more intertwined. And I was like, this is absolutely masterclass in terms of like getting you in the feels to have that relationship, as opposed to just Neva's there. Like, no, she's a core aspect of the gameplay loop. And again, chef's kiss. Like, I cannot wait to see what they do next. I was blown away. I couldn't believe, because I love Greece, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it as much. I don't know. I don't know if I'll say like one's necessarily better than the other because they are different stories. Here's one thing I can say: like, if you played Greece and you found that the story was too ambiguous, Neva is more straightforward. Like, it's pretty obvious what the story is. In my opinion, there's not much left for interpretation. It's pretty straightforward what it is. Whereas Greece, you can interpret it different ways. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. It's only April, but for me right now, Neva is my game of the year that I've played in 2025. That being said,
Wow.
it's April.
Wow,
Oh
okay.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But that being said, I still haven't played a lot of big hitters, so we will see. But that is how much I enjoyed it. Got the platinum, and then because of that, I was able to hop back into God of War Ragnarok. So I can't remember who it was in the chat. Somebody asked me like how far. I think it might have been Black Wyver. He asked me like, "How far are you?" And I was like, "I feel like I've only done, 10 hours because I feel like I'm just in the beginning." I checked. Listen, we all know the PlayStation clock is out of whack sometimes. It says I'm at 30 hours, and I'm like,
Dang.
what have I been doing?
Has it been counting
I don't
like
know.
standby time though?
That's about it. Doesn't
'Cause
seem
some
like
ga-
you
some-
played
I don't
those
know.
hours
My,
of it.
my PS5 is always in rest mode. It's always in rest mode if I'm not using it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm just that far, but in terms of the story, I feel like I haven't hit the major climax yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just exploring a lot and enjoying myself. So, yep. In terms of story, Atreus and Kratos, they met up with Tyr, and Tyr is gonna at least we find Tyr to hopefully help you stop Ragnarok. I won't go into spoilers, but Tyr kind of goes into a lot of explanations of why he doesn't want to help you stop Ragnarok, and I thought it was well done in terms of
You still got a
explaining
bit
his
to
reasons
go.
for
You
it.
still got quite a bit to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Yeah. So he just explained why he really doesn't want to help you stop Ragnarok, even though it's a pretty big deal. But he has his reasons, and I thought it was just a really good reflection of of Kratos, who he used to be. So really enjoying it. See how it goes, and that's what I've been playing, friends. So yeah, got 3 platinums in the last few weeks. But like I said, as Kia said in the chat, I might have cheated because I used a very, very, very skeptical guide.
And so anything to beat the koala, huh? Is that what you're doing? Is this the tactic we're taking?
Yeah. Anything to
Platinums
win.
are fun.
Be better.
Well, hey, I could go more.
Don't do it this way.
I could. Hey, I could go for more cheap platinums, but I was like, you know what? No,
I was gonna say,
not there
Ron,
yet.
be glad he's only going this route and not playing like My Name Is Mayo 3.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta give it to him. At least
It
he's
could
not
be
taking
worse.
it there.
It could be
You're
worse.
right.
That's right.
You're right.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
Don't make him make the
Fulia.
deal worse.
No, please don't. Please don't. We will not accept those platinums.
Yeah.
All right, Fulia, we know you got some platinums. Why don't you tell us what you've been playing these last few weeks?
I've been playing a few games. I did jump back into Dragon Age for a little while,
Let's go.
and still enjoying that. Actually, like the story is still pretty cool, and the character building and all that, and the world building and all that is like it's still really fascinating to me. So I'm learning a lot, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. So I'm just taking it as it goes. I've also jumped into the Pedestrian, which is a puzzle game. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I'm definitely over the halfway mark on that one. But the puzzles do get more and more difficult the further you continue. But it's actually not a long game. It's actually a short game. So hopefully I'll have that one finished off. The only thing is the Pedestrian doesn't have a platinum, which kind of sucks.
Oh,
How
how
dare they?
dare
Wait a
they?
minute.
I know.
Wow.
There's 10.
Hey, right.
There's 10 trophies. There's 10 trophies to this, but none of even if you collect all of them, there's no platinum. And I feel like it should have a platinum because of how challenging those puzzles
I was
get.
about to say, any game that is a puzzle game, it has challenging puzzles, that alone should get you a platinum. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, because you
Right.
really have to think outside the box, or in this instance, outside of the signage, because you're essentially the little silhouette character on signs going through from sign to sign, kind of like Portal style. And you have to make sure there's like connections between the signs to be able to go from one sign to the other, to be able to grab things like a key or a block to jump up to other platforms.
Yep, my brain's fried already. No thanks.
So it's actually a really sort of creative way of doing a puzzle for like a puzzle game. and I kind of like it, and especially because of the visual aspect of it, because you're in signage, and the background of the whole game is the actual like city where the signs are plastered and stuff. So it's actually really cool. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a shame that they decided not to give it a platinum just because of how short the game is. But I just feel like the challenges that you have to face in these puzzles just make it as if you should be able to get that platinum.
I need to know the qualifications for a game to have a platinum. When you can have games like I Am Mayo. You can
I was
get a
going to
platinum
say,
with no effort.
I've
but
played
then they
shorter
toss you a
games
puzzle
to
game
get
at
you plats.
Or
And
for
they're like,
God's
no, you
sakes,
can't have a platinum for this. It's
or
like,
for God's sakes, like have visual novels that take 20 minutes to play through.
yeah. Yeah, so
That's what
I
I'm
need to
saying.
know
I
exactly
guess
where the
it's-
You get plats
standards
like
are
that.
for this.
I guess
so
it's up to the developers. I think the developers get to choose whether or not
That's what
trophies
we've heard
go in.
before. Is like
Yeah.
Sony
Is it
will like
really?
yeah, like Sony will be like, hey, won't usually tell developers that they can have a platinum, but developers might if they tell Sony that they don't want one, they're not going to push back on it.
Oh, man.
Now
That's
that's even more infuriating, just so you know, because the OG Resident Evil 4, there's legit trophies, no platinum. Trophies you have to do is in a shooting gallery, and under time like S ranking them, but no platinum. You're telling me Capcom's like, yeah,
Yeah,
S rank the
that's wild.
shooting gallery, but no platinum for you? I'm offended. Capcom, I'm on the board. Capcom, I'm on the board.
Yeah, but I say you're
Come
on
on.
the board. You let this. You stand
I'm on
for
the board.
this?
I do not. When did they have this meeting? I'm not okay with this
Yeah.
at all.
I will also say it could be it could be worse though, because it could be the opposite, where it could be like Blueprints, where Blueprints has a platinum trophy, but by the time you finish the game, you'll have 0 trophies generally.
Yeah, no thanks.
What? What is
Yeah.
this?
The blueprints, the trophy lists for the blueprints. Apparently, all the trophies you get are like in the end game after you roll credits on the game.
Yes,
like
you know,
20
that's
hours
crazy.
in.
No, thank you.
Oh
It's
my
already bad enough
God.
that game is a
stupid.
Who does
Why
that?
would they
puzzle
do
game.
that?
No, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's very.
Oh my
bizarre.
gosh.
I was gonna say with the amount of like things that you have to do, and everybody's taking notes in that game and
Yeah.
trying to solve those puzzles. Like I thought there'd be trophies popping left, right,
I
and
knew when I
center.
saw that trailer, there was going to be one of those games, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
The concept is cool, but I was like, no, thank you.
I was gonna say, like, any inclination I had to maybe want to try that game when I saw Fee's notebook on the Xbox Drive this week, where she
Yes.
showed like the pages and pages of stuff
She-
she
Yeah,
wrote
see,
about
nah.
that game. I'm like,
Basically,
Gary's been talking about
she
taking notes,
basically
too.
journaled.
yeah, it's this giant journal of just stuff, just crazy stuff. from
Yeah,
that game.
multi-pass.
So yeah,
No,
yeah,
no.
John32 confirms in the chat I've been playing
That's
for 30 hours.
insane. That
I've
is
topped
crazy.
zero
That ain't
trophies.
right.
Nah,
That
man.
ain't right, Jan. No.
Somebody needs to talk to that
Wow.
dev. That ain't right.
Yeah, because that could be the opposite problem, where a game could have a platinum, but it takes so long to get it. Just like, nope.
Wow. But speaking of platinums, I actually managed to get 2 these past 2 weeks.
Oh,
And
I'm never going to be able to catch up. Good luck.
so now I have
Only
a
a
total of 5. I have a
Oh,
total
man.
of 5.
Oh, man.
Interesting.
I
Very
have
nice,
5
very
now.
nice.
One of them is I finally finished and 100%ed Jusant. And I will say Jusant was absolutely amazing. I really loved that game. It was my sort of jumping in and playing it to chill out kind of a game. It's like very, very like just real chill vibes, and I love it. And you get to explore all the different biomes and all that sort of stuff. And I loved it so much. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to make sure to replay it and try and find everything, because there's collectibles. They're not too difficult to find, but you can miss them if you don't know the route you're going, because there are like hidden like caves and stuff that you'll need to find, especially if you're mostly going up. You don't always go down. So sometimes you'll have to go down to find certain collectibles. So yeah.
Is there a chapter select for it? Or
Yeah, there is. There's
Excellent.
a chapter select.
Oh, thank
and
goodness.
and
That's,
the
yeah,
good-
that's
and-
how you do
goodness.
it.
And the cool thing about those chapter selects is that at the bottom of each chapter selection, it actually tells you what you've missed.
See, thank you, Don't Nod.
You know
Yeah.
it. They know what's up. They know
You
what's
throw
up.
collectibles inside something, that's how you do it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Finally,
Yeah.
somebody who pays attention and gets it right.
So it actually shows you what collectibles are in each chapter and how many of each of those collectibles there are. And it'll show you how many you've collected. And then that way you can go through and find them all. And it's amazing. It's so good.
That's awesome. Because
Take
that
note,
reminds me
developers.
of that reminds me of the Life is Strange games with the chapter selects too, because they give you like similar information as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don't Nod. So is this an early Game of the Year candidate for you?
I think so. Yeah, it's up there for
Wow.
me. It is up there. Yeah.
The GUI lists are building. I love it.
Very nice.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
The game that I'm not going to say will be part of my GUI list that I also have platinumed is The Wreck.
Understandable. I read your review on Backlog, and I do feel similar. Please talk about it.
Tell us
Please,
more.
yes.
So I played it through. It's an interactive visual novel essentially, and it's essentially very repetitive in its game loop, and the story was interesting, but I think it outstayed its welcome for a bit too long. For whatever reason, I didn't finish it in the time that it said on how long to beat. It took me a lot longer than that. Given the fact that I was also heavily sick when I was playing this.
Oh God.
So my head was
no.
already about to explode from a headache. Now I'm staring at a screen playing this game, and this game has a rewind and fast forward function, and that made it even worse for my eyes.
No.
I don't get motion sickness at all, but that while I had this flu just ruined me, and I think I got 90% through the game, and then I had to stop. I'm like, I can't keip staring at this screen before, and I didn't even finish it until a few days ago. So just sort of like going through the game, it just felt like it was taking forever. I'm glad it was fully voice acted, which was nice.
Yes, thank goodness.
But it just, I don't know how I felt about, like, the art style was all right. It was nice. It was, it was interesting. But yeah, it got repetitive, and then I got bored of it. And by the time I got to the end, I'm just like, okay, please tell me there's a chapter select so I can go back. Luckily, there's a chapter select, but there are points in that game where you can't skip the dialogue and you have to play through it.
Oh God.
And you don't have a
No.
Most of the time you can skip through the dialogue, which is fine, but then there are times where you can't skip the dialogue at all. You have to let it play out, and I'm like, I just want to get through this, please.
Now
And at that point, you're kind of locked in, and you're like, I only have a few trophies. I'm going to platinum this.
Yeah,
Got it.
I
exactly.
don't
Get
know
through.
though, because Ron,
Good
that
job.
was the reason why I didn't go for the platinum for Life is Strange Double Exposure, because I had to because you can't skip any of the dialogue in that
Yeah.
game, and you had to basically play it twice.
Yes.
And I only
The good
needed
thing I
like
think
4
about
trophies.
the wreck, though, is that it's very short. It's just that, like Koala had said, getting through it is because it is just a very middle of the road game. That game is about as okay meh as it gets. So I felt her pain on that because I understand.
Yeah, like it did sort of drag on for a bit too long, and I kind of wish they condensed it a bit more. I understand that they were trying to tell this story. The story is essentially about this writer who's kind of failed at being a screenwriter, and essentially she's going through her own bit of trauma where she's had a car accident, and the car accident resulted in her daughter dying. But now she's in a position where her mother's in hospital on her deathbed, essentially, and she's been put down as the next of kin, as the person who makes the decision for her, in terms of whether to pull the plug or not. And so she's going through this whole sort of thought process of, what do I do? She's trying to remember what happened in the accident, but it never, like, she's kind of forgotten about it. And then all these different factors roll in, and it's also a choice matters game. You have to, choose you pick words, so it's kind of point and click where you have to choose words as the story progresses. And the moment you know that you can't push, like you'll try to get to one of the words at the end of a scene and it disappears before you click onto it, you're like, oh, here we go. We're going to go back to the car accident. And it just keeps going back to the wreck, the
that
accident.
does happen quite a bit. Too much,
It
to be honest.
happens every time. Like you go back to the accident every time. And to top it off, the music is always the same when it goes back to it. There's nothing that changes in the music. And that kind of bums me out because I have been paying attention to music in games a lot more in the past couple of years. And this particular game, the track was okay, but once you hear it multiple times and you have to hear it multiple times, it gets boring and you're like, I just want to get through this.
Yep. At that point, you're like, all right, I want to go into the menu and slide the music
Yeah.
slider all the way down and just play some other music or something. Because there's definitely a lot of games that are like that have like very repetitive music like that.
Yeah.
The end had a nice
does-
twist to it, but outside of that, it was just very just okay.
Yeah, but there's like, in order to get the platinum for this game, you have to. There's like three different endings, and you have to play through all three to be able to get that platinum. And I'm glad that by the time I got to that point, after playing through it the first time and I chose one, I only had to do it 2 more times. And so once you hit that last chapter, that final bit, all you have to do is sit through the dialogue of the protagonist and then hit the word and then it'll roll through that ending. And I'm just like, okay, one more time. Do it again. So yeah, I wasn't really, like it was an okay game, but yeah, it just got too repetitive and it got boring by the end of it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing this past couple of weeks.
Nice.
Mostly been sick, trying to get better.
Yeah, that's not good. But, yeah. Well, as for me, I played a couple things that I want to highlight. I mean, first of all, it's me. I'm on the show. Of course, I'm going to talk about this. The Lunar Remastered Collection came out. This is my physical for the night. Of course, the physical version. Which, by the way, I probably shouldn't have opened this because if you look on eBay, the physical copy of this game is going for about 170 Canadian dollars right now.
Good Lord, already?
Really?
Yes, because
I did not know that.
Especially the PS4 version, and this is very limited. It's the most limited of the 3 platforms. So, and this is like a game that people want the physical for. They want it, and like it's funny because like the only retailer that currently has these in stock is a Canadian retailer that we have, which is called VGP. So if people want the physical copy of this, you go to VGP.com and go check it out there because that's really the only place you can find it. And in fact, I think they only have Xbox copies left at this point. So. Because the gung ho was like, hey, by the way, we're gonna have plenty of copies for everyone, and they certainly did not.
Of course they would have Xbox copies left. Nobody buys Japanese RPGs on an Xbox.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. It was gonna be the least popular platform because like that's on the same website they have like the collector's editions of like Metaphor still available for Xbox, as well as like Unicorn Overlord and stuff like that. So. But the Lunar Collection, I have to talk about it because first of all, that's kind of consumed my life over the last like week and a half. And y'all might be wondering, of course, but Ryan, how are you playing the Lunar Remastered Collection? It came out this year. You said you wouldn't buy games this year until July 1st, 2025. Well, let me tell you what, friends, this is one of the games I pre-ordered last year that came this year. So I did pay for it last year and it came this year. So I'm so happy to finally have it because this is what I had to have. Also, you might be wondering, well, Ryan, you showed us a PS4 copy, but you told us you don't have the platinum, but you did the platinum equivalent. So what gives? So I actually got a code on Switch as well. So I ended up playing it on Switch first because my PlayStation copy actually didn't come until later. So, yeah. Okay. But anyways, Lunar Remastered Collection is a collection of Lunar 1 and 2, from the PlayStation 1, because they're like even though the game's originally released on Sega CD, they did have almost like remade versions of the 2 games on PlayStation 1. And then they of course had these like beautiful like collector's editions because you couldn't buy the games by themselves. You had to buy them in the collector's edition with like a big like hardcover manual and a cloth map and all kinds of cool goodies inside the box. Like the packaging themselves is actually really, really, really cool. And Kiko also mentions in the chat, y'all weren't able to pre-order in the United States. Yeah, I think VGP was VGP was the only retailer, I think in the world actually, that allowed you to pre-order that game, which is interesting.
Damn.
But yeah, anyways, getting into it. Of course, this version that we've got here is pretty much the PlayStation versions reported. In fact, you can play them each game in their quote unquote original mode, which allows you to basically play the games at the original PlayStation resolution with like screen filters in 4:3. So it plays at 240p and it doesn't look great.
Oof. Oh, God.
But you can do it. It gives you the option
right.
to do that.
Yeah, if you want your eyes to bleed, go for it.
Yeah.
It's the OG experience right there.
But one of the nice things is, for the very first time in North America with this collection, we finally have the Japanese voice-acted version over the English dub. And the English dub has always been kind of very contentious for these games in the past. So I'm glad they kind of brought this over. So I'm just, kind of going to sum this up by saying, if you're into like Super Nintendo or PlayStation 1 era role-playing games, especially more on the Super Nintendo side, because these Lunar 1 and 2 are very much like, evolved versions of Super Nintendo role-playing games in a lot of ways. If you're into those types of role-playing games, like this collection's a slam dunk. It's $50 US for 2 games. Both games are incredible. And I think they really stand the test of the time, both visually and from the combat perspective. The story itself is really good, but the downside is they use the working design scripts. This time around, they didn't do a new translation. Oh, damn. And that translation, as Ron knows, is a little contentious. It has some out-of-date references. Oh, but they did re-record all the voice acting with brand new voice actors. And actually, Riley, it's $79.99 for the physical edition, but it's $66 Canadian dollars for the digital version, if you want to go that route here in Canada. But I just had so much fun going back to both these games. The quality of life improvements, though, I will say, in this version are really good because you've got HD versions of all the cutscenes, and these games are very anime cutscene heavy, and they look awesome. Yeah. But what also is a game changer for me for this game is the ability to adjust the battle speed, because you can actually, there's a battle speed meter that goes from level 1 to 3 based on how fast you want them to go. They're all turn-based battles, so if you turn the battle speed all the way up, you're not at a disadvantage or anything like that. But you can, these games can be a bit grindy, and when you're grinding, the easiest way to get through that, or I was actually more incentivized to grind simply because I could just blow through battles very, very quickly, to the point where I was mentioning in the Discord piece, people were very surprised that I beat both these games before the show, because this came out last Friday, was because turning the battle speed all the way up saved me at least 3 to 5 hours for both games. Because these games, especially when you're using the magic abilities, there's the attacks can sometimes be over the top. They have a bunch of like spell effects that just slow the game down, or the fact also that your characters have to walk up to the enemies and then hit them. Like it's based on the placement of where your units are placed as to whether or not they can actually hit the enemies. Kind of very similar to something like D&D in that way. That the battles in the original version, like I tried them for comparison on the level 1 battle speed, because there's actually a couple battles they force you to play without changing the dial on it, where they go so slow. They go so slow in comparison to where you're just like, thank God they added this feature, because I think it's a real game changer for modern playabilities of these games. So between those things and of course just the improved visuals, I think this collection is a game changer. My only complaints is I wish that they would have, as a bonus, could have included the Sega CD versions, because I do really enjoy those versions of the games, especially Lunar 1. And also I would have loved like a gallery or, some of the other features we see in some collections, maybe some behind the scenes stuff, maybe some documentaries or some other like materials that to kind of show us like the making of these games. Because that was actually one of the cool things about these games on the PlayStation 1 is they actually not only came with a soundtrack disc with each game, but they also came with a making of video CD of like the making of the game. And it was like the first time we actually really saw that with with video games. So I almost wish we would have seen some of that spirit come back with this collection. But like, y'all, if you are into like 16-bit RPGs and you haven't played the Lunar games before, like, this collection's a slam dunk for me. It's so good. So had to throw it out there as my first game. Otherwise, I played a bunch of old stuff. Remember, I can't buy any new games, so I'm playing a lot of stuff in my backlog. So I actually booted up my Sega Genesis and played Streets of Rage for the first time. I've dabbled with it before, but I've never actually sat down to actually play Streets of Rage all the way through. It's a beat 'em up game from the Sega Genesis. I've always loved Streets of Rage 2. I grew up with that one, but never really went back and played the first one, and really, really enjoyed that. And then I needed a palate cleanser between Lunar and Lunar 2, and I thought the perfect palate cleanser would be replaying Shovel Knight. And Shovel Knight just still holds up so well all these years later. That game is just still so fun to play. The music's incredible. It looks great. And it's so awesome. I know there's like a new like DX version of Shovel Knight coming out pretty soon as well that I'm interested to see how that turns out. But dude, just going back to 2014 Shovel Knight was just so fun this week. So there you go.
2014? Has it been that long?
I know,
Oh,
right?
don't say that.
Golly,
no.
man.
Yeah, it's 11 years old. Because
I feel like I played it a few years ago. Don't do that.
it came out, I think, a couple weeks before Alien Isolation, which also was 2014. So, yeah,
Good God.
it was the first. It was the first year of the PS4 because it was also out on Wii U that year and 3DS. So, there you go.
Hey, right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Good Lord. So, anyways, friends, that's going to do it for the games we've been playing. And of course, the games portion of the show. Although, I will mention some of our questions will also have us talk about games. So, we're not totally done yet. Oh, before I get into this, Riley King has a question for me in the chat. Ryan, did you play Streets of Rage 4 from a few years ago? I sure did, Riley. I love Streets of Rage 4. I've played through it
really good.
multiple times since it came out. I love that game. Also, the DLC was really cool too. Mr. X's Revenge, bringing back Mr. X from the old games as well. So, yes, I love Streets of Rage 4. It's also one of the reasons why I'm like so excited for Shinobi, because the same developers who did Streets of Rage 4 are doing the new Shinobi game that's coming out this year. So I can't wait for that game. But anyways, moving away from games, it's time to shift into topic of the week. So, friends, it is time to get into this. It is time for us to say farewell to the Barons world. We are going to say farewell to our friends Ron and Matt. We're gonna. I think before we get into the community talk, of course we want to. I think the four of us here want to at least talk about this a little bit. So, first of all, what I wanted to say to both of the two of you is that I've really, really enjoyed podcasting with the two of you over the course of the last year. I was a little bit nervous when we first decided to have you on the show because I knew that you guys would be a perfect fit as well, and I felt the same way about Fulia too, but. We hadn't really talked too much in the Discord. So we weren't like, and I would always get really nervous talking to new people. But that nervousness melted away the second the four of us were podcasting, three of us were podcasting together. And over the course of this last year and a bit, like I felt like that every Sunday night I'm hanging out here talking video games with my family and just having an amazing time. Like I've looked every single week. I always looking forward to coming on here and talking about video games with the two of you. And of course, Fulia as well. I've always really enjoyed our conversations. I know that, for example, you and I don't agree on every video game, Ron, but at the same time, I always respect the fact and love having conversations with you about video games because we don't necessarily agree about everything. Like we
do share love in
love
RPGs though. Our RPG
Exactly.
love is, yeah.
That's what I mean. There's definitely crossover, but I know like we're on opposite sides of the fence with other stuff, and that's okay. Like I love that about us. And Matt, the only other person on the team that loves Resident Evil as much as I do. Like I just felt so much love just getting to talk to you about random horror games every week and stuff like that. Like I've enjoyed my time podcasting with you both so much, and you two have grown so much since we started the show. I know, like you both were really nervous coming into this as well. Like could you really do this? Being your first podcast, and again, y'all have nailed it ever since day one. So I've just can't even begin to say thank you thank you to the two of you for bringing so much heart and fun to us at the PlayStation Drive every single week. And I've been so happy to have you guys here. That I'm really sad to see you go, but I understand. You guys got to do what you got to do, and I'm looking forward to, of course, talking more in the Discord, because I know you both will still be around in the Discord doing your thing, and still being part of this wonderful community that you helped shape. Because remember, because like most people, of course, know that y'all were your fans in the Discord before you even became part of the show, and I'm so glad we were able to help give you guys a chance to be part of go on this journey with us, and I'm so thankful we let you guys be on the show with us. So from the community and myself, I want to say thank you to the both of you for being part of the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, before we turn it over to you two, I'm going to let Fulia say a few words as well. She's shaking her head, but Fulia, come on.
Oh, Fulia.
Don't do it to her. Don't do it to her.
Don't do it to her? I'm not going to. Okay. I won't force you to.
Yeah.
But all right, Ron, I'll let you speak next, my friend.
Everybody already knows. I mean, Matt brought me here probably about 2 years ago. And pretty much from the time I stepped into Carpool, this pretty much became like the only Discord community that I stayed active in. The community is great. Absolutely love you guys. The opportunity I had to talk games with my friends. Shout out to Sean, Seth, and Ryan for bringing us on and even giving us the opportunity to do this. When I first came into this, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I'm not a content creator. I honestly didn't think I could do it. But as time went on, you start talking games with your friends. It becomes an automatic thing because it's just people hanging out and talking about video games. And it became easier and easier every week to the point where it kind of just was like almost no effort sometimes when we would hop on here and do this. I'm still going to be around. I'm not leaving. I know a lot of people always say that they'll stick around the community and they don't stay. But that's not going to be the case. I'll be there just like I haven't left. But I am going to miss some aspects of this. I'm not going to lie. But like I said, I'm going to be in the community still. Everybody that tuned in, whether it was their first time listening to PlayStation Drive or the 1,000th time, thank you for listening to us. A new crew came in. I know people may have sat there and thought that things were going to be different, which they were. But y'all showed up. And I appreciate everybody, whether it was you're a PlayStation fan or not, because I got a lot of messages from people saying that they didn't even own a PlayStation and they listened to the show. And that really meant a lot. Just reading through the comments in the Discord period, but the ones who sit there and sent messages individually, just thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. I mean, seriously, y'all made it worth it. I wouldn't take it back for nothing.
My God, I'm tearing up a little bit, Ron. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Matt.
Well said, Ron. Well said, Ron. Like, yeah, I've been part of CPG for so many years. Been a fan, since the Umika pre days, and I'll never forget I don't know if it's my very first time, but to me it was a big deal being a guest on the RPG Cave with Ryan.
Yep.
And this is something I learned about Ryan back then, so I kind of knew coming to PlayStation Drive was going to be similar, but I don't think everybody, especially if you've never done podcasting or content creation, like it is a masterful skill to keep the conversation going and flowing in an organic way that makes sense. And Ryan does it effortlessly. Like even from the RPG game when we did Nier Automata, because again, that back then, super noob, even though, I'm part of the backtrackers and stuff. That's somewhat of a similar structure, but at the same time it's not, because this is being recorded. It's live streamed on the internet, like, so you can mess it up. But I knew when I did that episode with Ryan, just like that Ryan would just continue to guide us in that direction and just, keep the conversation going, show us, how to keep it flowing. And coming into the PlayStation Drive, I don't know if everybody remembers this, like, Ron and Fully and I, like, we were very, very good friends well before we joined the team. So I wasn't nervous about that aspect, but I was still nervous about, making a fool out of myself. So it wasn't hard for me to continue that conversation with Ron and Fully. But again, like, it's a podcast, like, we're still making content, but I trusted Ryan and Ryan delivered in terms of like teaching us like this is how you keep the conversation going. This is how you
Steering
get the
the ship,
questions
man.
going. Yeah, like and does it effortlessly. Like it's not awkward or anything. So I personally learned so much from Ryan, from the rest of the CPG hosts, in terms of like just how to organically keep that conversation going. It's because it does take a skill and it does take practice. But Ryan, you made it so effortless and just so welcoming to do that. Like it was just very, very easy to do that. But yeah, like it was so much fun. Obviously, like I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like I joined for very selfish reasons to have more time with Ron and Fulia, and that's probably one of the biggest things I'm going to be missing. Just hanging out every single week with the entire PlayStation Drive crew. Obviously, we'll still chat in the Discord and things like that, but it's not going to be the same. And Rod mentioned this a while ago, but the way the community showed up was like it blew me away. Like I was very, very shocked by this, just because obviously it was a new crew, and listen, people could have dipped out. Like we're not going to listen to a bunch of noobs come on, podcasting things like people could have dipped out, but they didn't. And from what I've seen over the last year and a half, like more and more people are coming in and just submitting questions, chiming in the Discord. Like, listen, chiming in on the live chat like is one of my favorite parts that I'm really, really going to miss from the community, because people in the chat, like, you guys destroy us sometimes, and it's very hard to keep our composure. Like
this
even
random
today,
comment for Bribo.
like this comment from Rebel.
That's
We're
right.
taking it to the White House.
Campaign mate. We're still going to get it done. It's not over.
Like, yeah, like it might feel like a small thing, but I can tell you, like, it adds to the experience so much that you care and you come show up and you're just being real, just having fun with us. And I think I've said it before and I'll say it again, like that. And Ron shared the same sentiment. Like, this is the most special community that I've ever been a part of, and I've been quite a part of a few other ones in Discord, still am, but CPG, Carpool Gaming truly is the most special community. Like Ron said, like I'm still gonna be here in the community. You're not getting rid of me. I'm still gonna be saying foolishness in the Discord, talking about all the remasters I'm buying and physicals. Like I'm still gonna be there, right? And I'm hoping that you're still gonna be in there in the Discord, making fun of me for saying that I am the problem. What's wrong with you? Stop doing this nonsense. Because I really enjoyed that aspect on the PlayStation Drive, especially from the live chat, but hanging out with the three of you every single week. It's been such a joy, and yeah, I hope I've said this enough, but like I'm really proud of what we've done here as a team. Because like I said, early days, hey, listen, if you have not seen the OG PlayStation Drive videos, go back and watch it.
Please don't go watch that first episode.
No,
please, God,
no.
It'll be fun.
No. and I'm talking about like the OG, like episode 1 with like Ryan Turford and Matt Sawinski. Like you can see their baby faces.
The OG
go back,
please. Yes, watch that instead.
Go back.
Not our version.
Well, watch those too, but go back and see like babyface Ryan, babyface Matt, and like just how the show has grown from there. To Matt and Corin, to us. Like I said, people could have dipped out any time, but the fact that people stayed, and like I said, like I feel like us as a team, we were very true to what we wanted to do with the show, and I feel like we stuck to it instead of not necessarily trying to chase a trend. Like we really stuck to it. HVAC Sparky in the chat. I am the problem. You're welcome. That's right. I am the problem, and you're welcome. Always. But no, I'm really proud of what we've done as a team in terms of sticking true to talking about the topics that we want to, not necessarily what's making the headlines. And just going with the flow and just having fun with it. It seems like I'm really proud of what we did. And even with like the coverage we've done, like for the State of Play, the showcases, like we didn't hold back. All right, if we didn't like something,
opinions, we sure did.
We can. That's right.
We talked about what we wanted to talk about more than anything. Like that was
we did what we wanted to. So
yeah,
we did what we wanted to. Everybody knows why. This is why Herman doesn't pick up my phone, because we were being honest. All right, when the announcements that were made, we were very truthful with it. And even like the post showcase coverage is like, we were just like, we're not going to do a list of everything because we don't care about some of these games.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the ones that we wanted
about.
to.
Yeah.
That's right. So I feel like we were very authentic. I feel like we were a good group of friends chatting every single week. So again, I'm proud of what we did, had so much fun, learned a great deal. And yeah, just I won't forget it. Truly. And listen, it was phenomenal. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ryan, Fulia, Ron. Thank you, everyone in the community, for joining us. Because, like I said, didn't have to stick around, but you did, and more people joined in. And I'm glad you're entertained, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm talking about sometimes on this microphone.
Yeah.
Hey, and it can't be said enough. Both Matt said it already. Ryan, flowers out to you, man. Steering the ship, especially with us two rookies, because Koala already had some content creation under her belt, so
right.
she was more seasoned
That's
than
right.
us. So thank you both for kind of guiding us along the way and steering the ship. Koala, you were in control when Ryan was gone. Being Matt could have not done it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
you had
Even
to
though
be
I
the
kept
captain.
joking, I'll put Ron, you're in charge every single time. And you're like, nope.
Nope. Koala had to steer while you were gone. So, like I said, thank you to y'all both for dealing with it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, one of the things that you guys did that, but like even I was like a newbie to podcast at one point. Like the thing is that it's always fun to like grow, like to pass on those experiences and those skills to other people and to grow new talent. Like I'm so proud to see how far you both have come in the short time that you guys have been on the show. Like, and yeah, to echo your points, like I'm so proud of what we've put together here, and I love the space we've created for people to just talk about games or weather or any kind of silly stuff that they want to talk about. Like, I love doing the show, and also like one of my favorite things that we haven't mentioned yet is just the silly conversations we have even after the show. Because like most people
That's right.
don't know this, but when we
right.
turn off the live stream, a lot of times we
post-show
end
is
up
silly.
talking for an hour about just random stuff, just cause.
Yep.
Like, yeah, like the
Post-show,
PlayStation
baby.
Drive after show that we don't actually ever record. Like some of those have been some of my favorite moments, is us just hanging out as friends. Like, yeah, so I'm gonna really miss that with you guys, but I'm happy that we're gonna still be able to talk in the Discord and talk about games and other stuff there. And
That's right. I gotta make sure you're gonna play Trails. I gotta make sure.
yeah,
I can't leave.
yeah. But now, friends, it is time. In the tradition of any time someone has a final episode, because this happened to me on my final episode of Xbox Drive. We of course asked the what some of their favorite Matt and Ron moments were, as well as any questions they wanted to ask. There are some PlayStation related questions in here as well, I will throw out there, but a lot of stuff is really interesting. So we're going to start with Drellish first. And sit back, friends. This is going to take me a while to read, so stand by. Drellish says, no questions for the show this week. Well, maybe one. What game should Matt not miss out on in 2025, and why is it Claire Obscure Expedition 33? Ron, maybe you want to comment, or maybe can it be Lockleth that tells him to do that? I don't know. Who knows?
I'm not
That
gonna
would
bother. I'm not gonna bother
That would
Michael
work.
because he's not gonna listen to it. So I'm gonna let Locke do it. Hopefully she'll play the game.
Did she recommend this? Is that
It doesn't matter.
game?
It doesn't
No,
matter. If
it's
Locke
just-
just
no.
mentions it,
We
you're gonna play
know
it.
if Lockleth mentions it, you will play it.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
Yeah.
All Locke has to do is say that she played it. She doesn't have to tell the truth, and you're on it.
Power of Lockleth. It's true. It's true.
Getting back to Jarl's comment here. Again, thank you for the great moments on PlayStation Drive after all these months and years. I'll miss the discussions, the Falcom/Falcon games, caca! The trails in the sky. He wrote the caca in there. I had to say it. The trails in the sky, Azure, whatever. Fill the spot with your favorite Falcom game in brackets. I will miss the longer and deeper discussions about life, your laughter, the wheel, the gaming. Thank you for holding the PlayStation flag high all this time. Now here is a little poem for the two of you, and I'm going to recite a poem that has been given by the Drellish here. In the forest of games, where the pixels gleam bright, a bear and a squirrel made Saturday nights just right. Each week, they would gather our favorite hosts, guiding us gamers with laughter and posts. The bear roared for Falcom with trails of old and new, while the squirrel loved Persona and Resident Evil 2. With banter and wisdom, they led us along through dungeons and stories with heart and with song. From Urbania's legends to palaces deep, their voices and memories will always keep. So thank you, dear hosts, for each Sunday you led, for the journeys, the laughter, the words that you said. Though your mics now fall silent, your legacy now stands. Two friends in the forest who brightened our days. I'm gonna just clap. Bravo.
Man, that was.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you, Michael.
Well done, Michael.
Jeez,
well
man.
done. Man.
And the best part was he even included a little picture of a bear and a squirrel in the woods in the Discord with this post. So shout out to Jarlish.
Very nice. Very nice.
Next up, we got Tin Paullin, who said, "Hey friends, I hope you are doing well. I will miss the banter from Ron and Matt, picking on Fulia and all the silly giggling, and Ron's wealth of gaming history that is equal to Ryan's. Y'all make it always a fun show to listen to. I hope we still get to chat in the Discord. I love both of you dudes." So there you go.
Shout out to Tim. Old Kings, baby.
Thank you, Tim.
Yep. Next up, we got the captain who said, "What a sad day. I am gutted and I won't get to listen to these amazing guys each week. I will miss Matt's weather updates and learning about the crazy Canadian weather. He is the master of remasters, the squirrel on the reels, the legend Nagachaka. Ron is the man. He likes what he likes, and he will get back his opinion without apology, which you have to respect. I found Carpool on YouTube, and it was how Ron came across that made me look up to you guys, and sign up for Patreon. This has allowed me to find you on the Discord, where I found another family, and I'm so grateful for my daily gaming chat every day with everyone here. Thank you, Ron, for even if you are in complete denial about your love for Blitzball."
Shout out to Cap.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Cap. Nicely done.
He
By
had
the
to throw
way-
Blitzball in there and ruin it.
Yeah. Shout out to Cap, by the way, as well, because first of all, I love hearing stories like this about how they came across, how people came across our content, and how they came into the Discord and they realized, the Discord's actually an awesome family to hang out with. But also, I've loved just getting Captain's questions every week, because Captain writes some crazy questions sometimes.
Excellent story questions. Yes.
Yeah,
It's true.
I've always loved kind of Captain writing every week and being part of the show. So I wanted to give him a shout out here as well. But next up, we got Daryl, who says, "Wishing both Matt and Ron all the best after the run with the PlayStation Drive. As someone who games more on their Xbox these days, I still enjoyed listening in and or watching the podcasts regularly on my Sunday nights. I'm glad you both will still be active in the community, and I'm looking forward to the future game nights and meetups with Matt and the rest of the GTA crew." Because shout out to the GTA crew, the Greater Toronto
right.
Area crew.
GTA, baby.
Not the Grand Theft Auto
Grand
crew.
Theft Auto,
one.
baby. Yeah.
No. We had it first. No.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Rockstar, get out of here. How dare you?
God.
That was ours first.
Yeah. Also, before I move on, I also want to give Mitch a special shout out in the chat. Mitch Power, of course, chimes in and says, "I appreciate Ron being on the show to bring the term cheeks into the CPG vernacular. I will miss you all." But that will also not be the last time I mention cheeks tonight through these questions. So please be excited.
Alrighty. More cheeks
Thanks,
the better,
Mitch.
right, Ron?
Yeah. Although I was watching another podcast over the weekend, and there was someone else from the South, Ron, and they also used the term cheeks when talking.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Talking
how dare
about
they
bad
take my
games,
term?
and I'm
How
like,
dare
I'm like, oh my God,
Oh.
Ron isn't the only one who says this.
I gotta find out. I found they owe me a check.
Yeah.
Maybe they're a fan of PlayStation Drive.
They probably are. Cut me a check for this. How dare you?
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. Like, I just kind of fell over laughing when I heard that. Oh my God. Yes, Daryl, of course, it's like, I didn't think of GTA in that way. Yes, it's
That's right. Greater
Grand-
Toronto area. That's
Grand
what
Theft Auto.
everyone
That's
thinks
right,
of
Daryl.
GTA.
You said it right.
Yeah.
No.
Grand
no.
Theft Auto.
That's right.
No.
That's
Who
right,
knows?
Koala.
That's what I keep thinking, and I'm like, no, hold on.
Greater Toronto area.
That's
Come
what
on.
it always will be. Grand Theft Auto. How dare Canada still?
I was gonna say Fan Expo's still coming. There's lots of Canadian events coming up. So
Yes.
we'll be
Yes.
in the GTA crew soon. Toronto. Anyways,
Yes.
moving on. It's time for Kiku, and this is also a bit of a long one, so stick with me here. I'll be honest. When Ron came to me and said he was going to be on a podcast with some friends, my first thought was, ew, why would I want to watch that? I never cared to watch other people talk about or play games because I would prefer to just go and play games myself. But since I wanted to support him, I gave it a watch, and it actually became the highlight of each week for me. I always made sure to catch the show live, even if it meant climbing up on a fridge to get a better signal or shooing my husband away. Ron has been my best friend for 18 years. And though we don't always agree on everything, and we often give each other a hard time, it all comes from a place of love, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It usually takes me a while to warm up to new people, but I got along with Matt instantly as well. He is such a friend. He has such a friendly and laid back personality, and had me chatting with him like we were old friends from the time I joined the Discord. I'll definitely miss seeing the two of you on the show, but I'm more than happy to have a chance to continue harassing both of you on Discord. And as I've said before, I'm going to hire a guy to drag you from your beds and bring you to me whenever I want to see your faces again. Well, that's just dark right there.
That's Angel, though.
Good God.
Yeah.
That's expected. I was going to say, that's what was expected.
Love you, Angel.
Yeah. Shout out to
Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Angel as well for of course writing in every single week as well with like always a unique question as well.
For real.
I've always loved
Yep.
seeing her questions. So shout out to her. And she's always in the live chat too every single week. Next up, we got John32, who says, and these are where we're starting to transition to some questions as well about PlayStation. So be prepared for these. John32 says, I love you all very much. You both will be very missed. My question is straightforward for the show, though. With both of you leaving, who will pester Seth about playing Ghosts of Yotei this October? Can we keep the bit going a little bit longer?
It's never going to end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not
Absolutely.
leaving. We're not leaving.
right.
I have open access to Seth and DMs and the community.
That's right.
So when Ghost comes out, the harassment will continue. Seth will hate it.
That's right.
But it's going to happen.
You never know. Maybe he'll change his mind.
He might.
Maybe.
He might. Jin Sakai.
Yeah.
He deserves justice. It's not over.
It's all right. He'll probably end up
for
playing
Jin.
it on the Switch too.
He probably will.
Whoa. Let's
How
not
dare
go
you.
there. That's not happening, all right? No.
If that's the only way he's gonna get around to playing it.
How dare
No,
you?
no,
Herman
no.
will never allow that to happen.
Herman,
How dare you?
Herman's not giving that up. No. First party,
Yeah.
no thank
Yeah,
you. No.
this is a
Let's
Microsoft
not
over
go
here.
there.
How dare you, Koala?
The
Oh,
hilarious.
damn.
The hilarious thing for listeners who don't actually know, because I was reminded of this as well when I was in a voice chat with Seth this week. I think we were hanging out on Sean's live stream when he mentioned this, but I had forgotten that game was one of his a tournament bracket game from him at last year's CPG days that he was supposed to
right.
play, and he just never played.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Yes.
That's
how it
started.
started.
That's where this came from.
I've never
It's from
forgotten.
CPG days.
Yeah, I
I've
didn't
never
forget
forgotten.
either. That's right. I knew he was supposed to. 100%.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, I see. Look at this.
Yeah.
We love you, Seth. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. Don't want you to be miserable through a game. Just,
Yeah.
still.
Also,
Justice for Jin.
shout out to Ghost of Yotei, by the way. We finally got the release date for it. At least I'll say something PlayStation related. We got
Yeah.
the release date
October.
for it.
Thank you.
October. Can't wait to play it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Whoa.
Grand
Let's-
Theft Auto will come out a week later.
No, hold on. Yes, we got a release date. I'm excited to play it, but let's not gloss over the fact. Number 1, no disc, Ryan. Number 2, no steelbook. Herman, what are you doing?
Whoa, hold on.
Come on. What is going on?
Did we not tell you? We warned you this was going to happen. I told you
Oh.
that you weren't going to get a disc and you weren't going to get a steelbook. I warned you. You didn't
Why am
listen.
I buying? Who wants this? Who wants the collector's edition? No disc?
Sorry.
No steelbook?
Physicals
Who's
on their
buying
way
this?
out, brother. You're going to have to sit there and just deal with it.
I mean, look at all those
No.
third-party Nintendo
No.
Switch 2 games that none of them are the game on the disc. It's just
That's right. You're telling me.
Oh, God. No.
That's right.
No.
How's it feel to be a fossil, Matt? Hmm?
No, stop it. No. Ryan proved that physicals are back. Lunar, baby. Buy it and keep it. That's right. It's worth lots of money.
Yeah.
it is
Physicals
actually
are
worth
worth
lots
it.
of
This
money.
feeling you have right now is how the older people felt when 8-tracks were on their way out. Remember this.
What a sad feeling. Jeez. My gosh.
Now
Nothing
you know
to
how I
celebrate.
felt when CDs were on the way out too, or compact discs. Oh my god!
Oh, no.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
All right, moving on. We got Antics, who says, "Hey y'all, thanks so much for being awesome as always. Ron and Matt, you will be missed more than you'll ever know. My question for the show is though, what is your favorite memory from being on the PlayStation Drive? I know there's far too many to count, so just pick one. Love you all."
Too many to pick from. Come on.
That's what I
man.
mean. It's so hard to
Oh.
pick just one because I honestly don't think I can come up with one. Because honestly, I've had so many great memories from talking about talking about Pepsi Man nonstop
Yeah,
to
Pepsi
the
Man.
Fifth Element on PlayStation 1
The
to
cacaw, the falcon thing.
the Falcon thing to just random weather talk. Oh my god, there have been so many great memories with you guys that I honestly I
hard.
can't think of just.
It's hard, but
one.
I'm gonna answer Ant, and I think the time that we sit there and mess with Fulia about the Malfu mode thing with Kirby.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I forgot.
Yes.
That's
I will
right.
never
Why'd you have to
forget
bring that up?
I had to. That was one of the best moments. We got a lot
good
of
moment.
them, but that one was
did.
great. Don't worry,
That
PlayStation
one's a
Nation.
good
I'll be finding that clip and I will post it.
Oh,
on the PlayStation
jeez.
Drive channel. It's not over.
Thank you, Ron, doing the good people's work. That's right. I'm trying to think.
It's really hard to find. God, we have so many of them, but that right there was a great one. That was a great one, especially when Koala got upset with me. He's like,
also
"Get your mind out of the gutter."
What's funny, Ron, when you think about how long we've actually done the show together, because we've done the show for about a year and a couple months, and in that time, we recorded for at least an hour to 2 hours every single week. So when you calculate that up, you're looking at about like almost close to 100 hours worth of stuff. So it's very hard to pick out just one moment in that, like 100 hours.
It is.
Together.
There's too many.
It is.
I can't say this one's my favorite, but this is the one that's popping to my mind at the moment. Fulia was talking about a certain game, and I think somebody went missing. Like somebody went over the boat or something like that. And I think I made a comment about like, I'm gonna get the ranch to look into this. And she just responded like, "Do what you will." And I died because I knew Ron knew what I was talking about with that foolishness, and I knew I finally got a rise out of Fulia. But I loved Ryan's response, like, "What is this show? Like, what have you done to
I
this?
remember that.
Yeah.
He was like, "What are you talking about?"
What are you talking about? Like, this is nonsense."
When the Discord bleeds into the show. That is always funny.
Especially because to this day, I have no idea what the heck the ranch even is. I don't even know what the hell y'all are talking about when you say that. I don't.
Shout out to Cowboy Danger D.
Cowboy Danger D knows what's up. Every other ranch member knows what's up. Dozens of us, but that was a good moment. 'Cause I knew Ron knew it.
There's literally two of you.
No, dozens.
Oh my God.
But I knew Ron and Fulia got that reference, and I loved Ryan's honest response, like, "What are you doing?
Oh, Lord.
What is this show anymore?" So it's not my favorite for sure, but that's one that's come to mind. Definitely.
And I can't forget about every time I was able to get Koala to say "shut up."
Shut up, Ron.
Yes.
It's his
It was
mission
always-
every week.
It was. And 90% of the time, I always got what I wanted.
One of my favorite things actually was the invention of the far out counter, because y'all would say far out so many times on the show, especially out of context, that I was just
It's
like, I had
so
to start a
normal
counter.
for me.
I think the record is still saying far out. I think it was like 13 times on one episode. It's ridiculous.
And
Oh,
the PlayStation
double
Drive
digits.
patented, trademarked card matey.
Card.
Yes.
That's not gonna be continuing anymore. So I can finally close that site down.
Wow, don't be so excited about it. How dare you?
Kept it live just for you two.
Hey, and look, and I love you for it. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
You were a
for
fellow
you three.
matey. Man. For us.
I even made it so that whenever I guessed it on another show, that they would be like, and I'd be like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. A Vastia matey. Well, what about you, Fulia? What was one of your favorite memories of the show?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, if I think about it, I'm just gonna start crying. But but like, just every time I bring up an indie game that none of you have ever heard of, and Ron would be the first person to jump in and ask a question, and it would always be a trolley question.
Yep.
Every time.
Still works.
Yeah. In fact, like, he actually brings up a good point here. The Dragon Ball Z fusion between Matt and Ron while Fulia was talking was such a great moment. That's one of those moments you were describing, Fulia.
Yep.
Oh my God.
All the silliness.
Oh man.
And then y'all were laughing about it, and then I completely missed it. So I don't know what
Yeah, Ryan was like, I don't know what's happening.
I was looking at
What's
the
so
chat
funny?
because I was like scrolling through chat for like things to prop up and highlight, and I missed it. So except for when you guys were just laughing. So oh my God. Yeah.
But I will say, John 32 brings up a good point. Me and Matt trying to play through Elden Ring at extra life,
And
Ron just trolling us.
No. Ron wasn't trolling you. He
Yeah,
was
I was trying to
right
steer you
on.
right. Ryan was steering you wrong.
You trolling us.
I was the one who was gaslighting you into thinking that Ron was not telling the truth.
Ryan was just steering you guys wrong the whole way. I was just like, oh God.
I was just
It's
like,
true.
no, Ron's just giving you the wrong information. Ron would just start typing in all caps what the correct advice was. And I'm like, no, don't listen to him. He's giving me the wrong advice. And they listened to me for some reason because I was in person, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like I said, it really is too many to list, though.
Too many.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right. Next up, we got Stingray X who says, question for Matt and Ron. What PlayStation mascot would you want to have as your in real life friend? Thank you both for doing what you do. You'll be greatly missed. Take care. So, what PlayStation mascot do you want to be your best friend in real life?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's a mascot. Can I pick a character? Or it has to be like an icon.
I'm just
like
reading
how-
the question verbatim.
I would say,
I don't know the rules.
Yeah, I say probably go for a character.
I don't know if this is the answer you wanted, Stingray. I'm going to go with a character from PlayStation Land, not necessarily like an icon or a mascot.
Oh,
Stingray,
Stingray
he confirmed
corrects
it
us.
is a character.
Character.
All right, thank you. It's going to be Jesse from The Last of Us Part 2. You know it. It's the one full experience. Jesse is the friend that we need, but we don't deserve. If you have not played that game, if you've not watched Season 2, when he says that amazing line that defines him as a human being, my friend's problems are my problems. I want a friend like that. I want Jesse's my homeboy for that one.
Okay.
I love him.
You don't want to hang out with Jerry? No?
Jerry. Oh boy. How much time do we got? Like, are we doing a five-hour episode for the finale?
Yeah.
So Jerry's a complex man. He's got some admirable qualities, but also questionable choices.
He's
Right,
he's
so-
complex, all right.
He is. I'm
did.
being serious. Wow. Too soon, Ron. Too soon.
Too soon.
All right. Yeah. Hashtag justice for Jerry, please. All right.
Hashtag Jerry deserved it.
Damn.
Hashtag anyways.
Anyways. We haven't said anyways this whole episode. Thank you, Julia.
It had to get out there at some point. You know what? I think I'll go with Chloe Fraser. She seems like a great drinking buddy. She's got a sense of humor. She's fun to be around. So, yeah, I'll go with Chloe Fraser from the Uncharted series.
Interesting.
Nice choice.
Now, Fulia, this question was directed at Ron and Matt. I'm going to answer it anyways, with John32's response in the chat by saying, I'm going to pick Eve from Stellar Blade. Even though John32 said not to pick her.
I'm a little bit surprised.
I don't know.
Why not, John?
Might
Why
get
not?
around.
Good
Yeah.
pick. Good
We
pick.
could be friends.
Yeah, she's a good pick.
That's right.
Yeah.
Respectfully, of course.
Respectfully, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, for me, now everybody's probably going to expect me to say Astrobot, but
Actually, I was waiting for Anna Kournikova is who I
No.
was waiting for.
no.
That's a
Yes,
PlayStation character.
Ryan. Yes, excellent.
He's
And
not
another
lying.
Justice
memory
for Anna.
I won't forget.
That's a shout out, by the way. Shout out to the very first episode we did with each other was the Anna Kournikova
Yes.
That's
PlayStation
right.
1.
We made Anna K
Heck
popular
yeah.
again. Google searches went up because of us.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
yeah, okay.
Anna,
Yep,
wherever
yep,
you're
yep.
at,
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's right.
Cut a check.
You're welcome.
Anyways, continue, Fulia.
I'm going to say Sackboy would be pretty fun to have as a friend. He'd be cute. He's cute and cuddly. He was the first platformer game that I played on PlayStation, like his Little Big Adventure, Little Big Planet, and all that. So I'm gonna say Sackboy because yeah, he's cute.
See, I thought about Sackboy, but then he reminded me too much of Chucky, like because it's like I don't know if I want a doll that's like alive in my house.
Nah, he's not as creepy. He's not as creepy as Chucky.
Oh, obviously not. He's not going to probably murder me in my sleep.
Yeah, I
either,
don't think
but
Sackboy's
he's-
going to murder you. He'll probably put you some hard platforming.
It's
some
still
challenging
probably
platforming,
give
you know, to punish you.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it'd probably give me nightmares still, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. We got Quaggy who says, "It is I, the Quaggy, king of the Xenobabes. I'm so thankful that Ron and Matt were with us as long as they have been. It can't be easy devoting that much time to create content we all enjoy. It truly makes me appreciate all the hard work all the CPG hosts put in every single week. Thank you both, Matt and Ron, but also thank you the entire Carpool Gaming team. You are also special to me. Now, my question for the show is, with Expedition 33 already selling 1 million copies, is it a true case study that we don't need a $70, let alone $80 games? I haven't played it, but from what I've heard, this is from a small independent studio who created a game that rivals your traditional $70 to $80 games in terms of quality and content. I think the big three are getting too big for their britches, and the lack of the competition is driving all these prices higher and higher. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, Cwaggy makes a good point here. Like I think we've said this before on the show, and I've said this on multiple podcasts over the years. Like I would love to see more developers explore the space of game prices. You don't have to, like, the idea that every game has to be $60 or $50 even is silly to me. Like, I think there should be a scale. Just like I don't necessarily think it's wrong for a developer to charge more if there is a reason to charge more. Like if Grand Theft Auto, if they want to charge $100, if it wasn't an industry-setting thing, I would probably be okay with it. Like, because they pack enough content into their games where they justify that price point. Just like I would love to see more like $30 or $40 games, like back even on the PS3 days. Like that was a big thing back then, where you'd see a lot of AA games that kind of at that price point. Like I'd love to see people explore that scale a little bit more rather than just defaulting to everything being $80. But I'm curious to know what y'all think about Quaggy's question.
I think it's going to be, all of it really comes down to like the size of that team, Sandfall, that did Expedition 33. There's only like 30 people there. Yeah. It's a smaller scale RPG. It's not a 100, 200 hour game. So I think when you do a 30-hour game, you got a 30-man team, you can get away with doing a game for $50. When you start getting into the AAA territory where you got anywhere between 200 to 500 employees and stuff, you can't do 50. The budgets are too big. The $50 just isn't going to work. And some will say that $60.99 isn't enough. But I like it. I think half the success might be because it is $50. But I also sit there and feel that the game itself and the word of mouth is pushing it as well. So I think it's probably just both of them feeding off of each other. But it's really hard to say, man. Like I said, that company can get away with a $50 game. That's a debut game from that studio, so they probably went the right route of doing the $50. And maybe they just had enough faith in that game to say to themselves, you know what, we can do $50, and I think it's going to end up selling. It's already sold 1 million copies, and that's not even counting the Game Pass numbers for it. So That's impressive. And during the time that came out with Oblivion Remastered, so that says a lot. So I think it's just both the fact of the quality of the game and also that price point that are just making it a perfect storm. It's great to see. I love RPGs that do well, especially RPGs that are brand new from a studio. That's really impressive. It's great to see.
Which, by the way, shout out to Xbox games on PlayStation this week, because we got Oblivion this week and Forza Horizon.
And Forza Horizon 5. Go out and buy that.
And then, of course, Claire Obscure comes to PlayStation the same week, too. So it's just like, it's so much. It's so much, you guys. Yeah. No, what? I'm so glad I can't buy games now, because I don't have to spend all this money on all these games right now. I'll just spend all of it in 3 months from now after the Switch 2 is out.
Yeah. Oh, PlayStation Nation, by the way, this is the only game that I think I have pre-ordered, where I had this thing pre-ordered in January. Expedition 33 was that impressive when I first saw it at the Xbox Showcase. Wow. I had faith in this thing. When they first opened for pre-orders, I pre-ordered it. I had faith in it, and it's going to skip the wheel. As soon as I'm done playing Immortals, Expedition 33 will be up next. There's no will for this game. Yeah. There's no will for this game.
It's actually one of the reasons, Ron, where I was like, I really need to finish Lunar 2 like before the podcast tonight. It's because I really want to play this game too. Yeah. I'm so ready, because I can't buy it, but it's on Game Pass, and I have Game Pass.
There you go.
Yeah.
I also have it wishlisted.
Oh,
yes.
Cool.
Yes.
We're gonna get Paullin on it too. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. That's a babe that I can sit there and get behind. Expedition 33. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a movement I'll support.
Yeah.
Claire Obscure babes.
There you go.
Rolls right off the tongue. Yes.
It just rolls
excellent.
off the tongue. Get the merch ready. Someone
Obscure
get the merch
babes,
ready.
Let's do it.
Yarden is also very excited about Claire Obscure Babes.
Yes. Matt, you're next. You're next. Let's go.
We're gonna get you too, buddy. I love that we're doing this and none of us have played this game yet. but we're like, we're getting everyone on board. Let's do it.
Hey, let's go.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. All right, friends. Final question and comments of the show. Go to HVAC Sparky, who says, "Hey all, hope you are doing well today. As for Matt and Ron leaving, with PlayStation and PS5 being in a drought of games first party wise, like Nintendo was with the Wii U, it doesn't surprise me that you guys simply ran out of topics to cover. There's simply nothing left to talk about." Yeah, and then he's got a bunch of like very silly emojis there.
Damn.
And then and then there's a bunch of dots, and it says, "Anyways, I've got to say that you fellas brought such a great positive energy to the show every single week. I always was entertained, even in the moments where you weren't necessarily talking about PlayStation. I just wish you," and then he laughs a little bit and says, "I wish you well in all your future endeavors." That brings me to the question of the show in general. What are your guys' most anticipated games gaming wise or otherwise moving past 2025 and into 2026? What's on the future horizon for you guys that gets you excited? There you go. We're looking forward. Looking forward now. In the Discord, what are the games you're going to be most hyped about this year, you guys, going forward? I mean, for me, I'm just excited to play any new games this year, let alone games coming out later. I still have a ton that came out at the beginning of the year that I haven't been able to play. So for me, it's a lot of stuff. But curious to know what y'all think.
Expedition 33. That was my big one. I mean, Ghosty Yote is gonna get his burn from me, of course, but Expedition 33 was my biggest game before even 2025 came along. So, and then of course we don't really know what's coming this year as far as PlayStation goes, first party wise, because after Yote, that's it.
Yeah, it
it.
really could be anything. Yeah, because like Wolverine, we don't know when that's coming out. And
yeah. Might even be a PlayStation 6 title by damn time this time.
Yeah.
Boy.
Intergalactic or... I mean, we know Marathon's coming out this
PSX,
year too,
yeah.
Ron. That's a game that exists.
Please be excited.
Please
Yes,
be
it's an
excited.
action shooter. That's all I ever wanted. Yay. Yay,
I mean,
Bungie. Thank you.
The people who played the alpha were like, yeah, this is fun, but if you're not into distraction shooters, you're going to hate this game.
Yeah.
So.
I heard the same. So it's one of those things like, yeah, thank you for this.
Oh, God.
At least hopefully it won't be New Concord. At least it'll be,
Hopefully
it'll
Right
sell more than
there.
New Concord.
Hopefully
It
not.
will.
We'll see.
Oh, come on. It'll do better than Concord. There's no
Man, I don't
way.
know, man. I mean, okay, fine. It doing better than Concord really is not saying that much. But
Yeah. At least last more than 2 months.
yeah,
Right.
I think we could develop a game, all of us together, and it would last longer than Concord did. So,
Damn.
Riley King in the
Pour one
chat
out for
says bring back
Concord.
Concord.
Wow.
yeah, no, Riley. Concord is exactly where it belongs, in the grave. Herman standing over it, drinking his wine.
That is
fine.
one of those things where during our time together on the podcast, we got to see the entire rise and fall of Concord
Yeah.
in the time we were doing the show.
Well, several
From the
live
very-
games when you think about
That
it.
is true.
From the
That is
very
true.
first announcement of the game to it coming out to it then going away.
Yeah. Where it properly belonged.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. What's on the horizon for you, Matt? What are you looking out there and seeing that you're excited about?
I am not looking at 2026. Let's not rush time getting old. So 2025 there's plenty of 2025 for us. I'm excited for Ghost of Yote. I'm not getting the collector's edition, obviously. Probably still buy it day one. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. I don't know if I'll buy it day one just because of money and especially with Death Stranding 2. But I'm excited that those games are coming out, especially Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, just because I wasn't sure what's going to happen with that franchise. So I'm excited that it's going to be coming out. It looks good. I'm hoping that there's more in terms of remakes and remasters. Obviously, I'm going to want more. Please give them to me. I know I'm part of the problem. But I think that's about it from PlayStation. In terms of the sweet potato, Nintendo Switch 2, I'm calling it right now. It might not happen, but listen, you have to will things into the universe in order for things to happen. If you don't put it out there, so listen, Dougie B, all right? If this isn't on the docket, just please hear me out and make this happen. Because everybody's expecting a 3D Mario game to be announced maybe in the fall. They're just holding back, and they're going to, announce it, especially with the 40th anniversary. Blah 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 blah. Listen. This is what I want. Okay, and this will be a good twist, and people will buy it. Not just me. Dozens of us will buy it instead of a 3D Mario game. Let's bring back the tactics we did for the GOAT. That's right, the GameCube. Did you launch it with the 3D Mario game? No, you did not. You launched it with Luigi's Mansion.
Get to
That's
the
right.
plots already.
I'm getting there.
Get to the
Let him
plot,
cook a little
please.
bit, Koala.
That's right. Got to build a story
Sitting
here.
here thinking, what the hell?
Building a story here.
To be fair, I was also wondering what the hell you were going.
Oh
with
my
this, Matt.
God.
Just please. It's getting there. Luigi's Mansion. It's going to be announced. Luigi's Mansion 4. That's the big launch title for the fall. Not 3D Mario, Luigi's Mansion 4.
That's what you were
That's
building
right,
it up
baby.
to.
Luigi's Mansion 4.
Yes.
You think Dougie B is actually going to, you know what? Dougie B will
Do
do
it,
this.
Dougie B.
You know what he's going to
Yeah.
do? He's going to charge you $100 for it.
Yeah.
And in
And I
Canada,
will
it's
buy
going to
it.
be what, 160 something?
That's right.
kinda-
I will
yeah.
buy it. Team Luigi will buy it. That's right. Kevin Ainsworth, all of us, dozens of us.
All four of
do
you
it.
guys. Yes. Dougie B is going to
Who
listen
does
to
it?
that.
I mean, Luigi Mansion 3 actually sold pretty well, so that's
It did.
actually not totally
It
off
did.
base. Yeah.
But it ain't going to sell more than no Mario title will.
Well, of course not.
Exactly. Dougie's after cash. Furukawa is after that cash.
Yeah. Young, of course, chiming in saying that, in fact, Luigi's Mansion 4 is Matt's PlayStation Drive legacy.
It's true.
You're welcome.
True.
You're
I
welcome.
like Luigi too. I like Luigi also, but
Yes.
you know what? Dougie B and them, they're after that money these days. Switch 2 is going to be different. They want that cash. They going after Mario.
Before I move on to Fulia here, Kia, I wanted to highlight Kia's comment as well, who I'd forgot about this too. Y'all saw the rise and fall of the Last of Us multiplayer.
That's
as well.
right.
Don't remind
Factions.
us. That was
R.I.P.
sad.
Runtime.
Yeah, Bungie say we're not going to be
Yeah.
having nobody else compete for this except us.
I forgot about that. Good feel.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whisper to
Jeez.
Herman, they said this game sucks.
Bungie did us dirty with that
They
one.
did.
eh?
Bungie was just
Come
like, this
on.
game's actually pretty good, but we're not going to say it.
Yeah, congratulations. We outlasted the Last of Us multiplayer. But now, how about you, Fulia? What's out on the horizon?
For me, considering that I've limited on my buying habits,
Of course.
I am not quite sure what I'd be looking forward to. Right now, I'm just looking forward to playing through my backlog.
Okay.
That seems like a
Nothing wrong
good
with that.
strategy.
Nothing
It's
wrong
a
with
good thing. It's a good thing.
Just trying to,
Yeah.
been trying to get through that. I'm actually pretty happy with where it's at the moment. It's definitely it's less than 70 now, I think.
That's good.
So I've been
Very
going.
nice.
I've been going through my backlog slowly, trying to pick out all the small, short ones to get those out of the way because you can get those done pretty quickly. Yeah, yes, Ron.
Is Mass Effect in this backlog?
Yes, it is. It is because I bought it last year
Excellent.
when it was on sale for like,
Excellent.
was it like $3 or $5 or
us
something
posted.
like that?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
excited.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there.
Also, I hear you about wanting to shorten the backlog because if y'all remember at the very beginning of the year, I talked about this on the show. I have this 2025 wheel that I had put together at the beginning of the year, which was every game on my backlog. The updated total from before I started playing games this year was 159 games on that wheel, and I've beaten 29 games this year. So
Good Lord, all right.
now
Damn.
I'm down
It's
to
only April.
130. So
Yeah,
I hear you.
yeah.
I
So
started getting in my
I think
territory. All right.
I mean, pretty soon I'm looking at the bottom of this list, Ron. And the time is going to come for Recore, Balan Wonderworld, The Matrix
Oh,
Path of Neo,
Balan Wonderworld. Oh, boy.
Ninja Blade. Like these games are going to get played at some point.
Okay.
I played through Clive Barker's Jericho this year, but sometime I'm going to have to play Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. That the time is going to come where I'm going to have to play that.
Oh. Recore at least will. I think you'll be okay with that one.
That game I remember.
I'm not so
not
sure
being
about. I'm not so sure about Fantasy 4 though.
Yeah, that game did not get good reviews, but I'm gonna play it. Because why not? I mean, someone's got to play Golden Axe Beast Rider, and I guess it's me.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Look for a tournament bracket in the vicinity soon. Please be excited. But anyways, that is all of our questions and comments for tonight's episode of the PlayStation Drive. Now, before we say our final goodbyes, I'm going to go ahead and get the Patreon read out of the way first before we say our final goodbyes. So, of course, we can't do the show without thanking our patrons every single week, including our ultimate producers over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, Jonathan Brown, aka JB or Yaby, if you prefer. He, of course, does our incredible theme song for the PlayStation Drive. Also does the Xbox Drive theme song. You can check out all of his music at his Linktree, linktr.ee/pme.gib. Cwagmire, who humbly reminds you that the best babes are, in fact, Xenobabes. And Technical Michael, who says, whether you're Kevesi or Agnian, you're a Xenobabe at heart. Links to all of our ultimate producers can always be found in the description of our podcast. Yes, I had to make sure on this show of all the shows, I couldn't get that wrong. I had to say it correctly.
I thought you said it. I thought you said it correctly all the other times. Californians and Armenians. It's fine.
That's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Arginians.
You know what's right.
Arginians, Our platinum producers, Smokin Joe, the Captain Tim Paullin and Toxic, and our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Bradmore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, John 32, Ligerwoods 330, Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Peje, and Stephen Keller. Huge thank you once again to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Of course, if you want to hop in the car with us, head over there, choose the tier that's right for you. And now, as we always do, of course, before we say our final goodbyes, Ron Plugs go.
Support Prime on all the things. PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, Blue Sky, Backlogged, PSN profiles, True Trophies.
All the things.
All the things.
Matt, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me as Nagachaka on Blue Sky, the Carpool Gaming Discord, and check out my platinums on PSN. Add me as a friend. You'll be very, very happy and proud of the platinums that you see. That's right. Add me.
No bad ones in there. We'll check.
They're just going to be
not in my opinion.
They're just,
He just doubts it.
yeah, perfect time for you.
For audio listeners, Fulia flashed a card with a koala.
The koala stare.
It's my koala stare sticker.
Perfect. Yeah. It was perfect.
Yep. I also love the fact that it's foil too. Just to drop it.
Yeah. A little extra, shine.
Yeah. And Fulia, where can people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram at Foolish Fuji, and of course twitch.tv/Foolish Fuji, and YouTube, of course. And then if you want to check out everything else that I do and more, you can go to foolishfuji.com or foolishfuji.card.co.
Card.co.
Last time.
One last time, mateys.
And I just want to say, Ron, Matt, I've loved having both of you to be able to speak to you both on the show every week. I'm going to miss it. Doesn't mean that we're going to stop talking in the Discord. Right. We're still going to chat away, even if it isn't as frequent as this. But I've loved hanging out with you guys and being able to chat PlayStation and just gaming in general, and learned a lot from all of you about PlayStation and all that kind of knowledge. Like you all have a wealth of knowledge, and I love it. So thank you. Love you both.
Thank you, Kwal. Love you too.
Love you, Floyd. And before we go as well, I'm also going to say huge thank you of course, to everyone who's supported us here at the PlayStation Drive, everyone who's listened, everyone who's given us a chance, whether you've been in the community for a long time or if you just found us randomly on YouTube somehow, like Captain's story. Like every single one of you is really special to us here at Carpool Gaming, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I also appreciate, of course, Ron and Matt once again for being incredible friends of ours and incredible co-hosts, and I'm so glad we got to do this together. I'm gonna miss it for sure. Like this is definitely gonna be put a hole in my Sunday nights, but I know Discord's right on my computer, so I know you guys will always be there. So we will definitely be talking. And Matt, of course, you live in the same city as me, so we're definitely going to get to hang out at least a little bit. But eventually we'll get Ron to meet up with us somewhere. We're going to have to figure something out eventually.
We'll figure something out, man.
I'm up to GTA meetups, baby.
Oh my God.
I can get Grand Theft Auto in my own city. I don't need to go.
Whoa.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. So definitely do that. I will also mention again, I'll reiterate this. I mentioned at the top of the show, the PlayStation Drive, again, will be on indefinite hiatus, and we will have news for this when we have news for you. But like I said, things are cooking behind the scenes that are exciting that we will announce when we are ready to announce them. But just wanted to let you know that that's a thing. And before I, of course, press the end stream button, Matt and Ron. Is there anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we go?
Yeah, just shout out to all, like I say, everybody that tuned into the show. Love every single one of y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us on the journey. Shout out to all the hosts that I got a chance to sit there and work with. Mitch, thank you for having me on your podcast, man. Bowser, I had a great time being on Catfire with you and Fee and Seth. Fee, Seth, love y'all to the moon and back. Y'all know exactly why. Lockliff, love you as well. Koala, Matt, Ryan, thank you for steering the ship, man. Like I said, you brought us all the way here. So just thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody. Garrett, keep playing all them old school RPGs and the classics.
I will keep making him do that.
That's right.
I have many, many more for him to play.
Yeah, man. So just like I said, shout out to everybody. Thanks a lot for just coming along for the journey.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh, just similar to Ron, just thank you to the entire CPG team, obviously PlayStation crew and the community. Just really special, really, really special.
Oh, thanks, everyone. Well, thanks, everyone, for watching tonight and for listening on your audio feeds. Until next time, friends. For Fulia, Matt, Ron, myself, this has been the PlayStation Drive episode 195, and we'll see you when we see you. Good night, everybody.
Adios, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode of the PlayStation Drive. Now, before you drive off, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all kinds of exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description.